Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're installing a switch panel on the truck. We have an 8-gang switch panel from Mictuning. I'm going to show you guys how to get that installed. You can see it on the tailgate right here. We have our switch panel, all the fun jazz that we're going to show you today. So let's go ahead, let's open this up and dive into what we're about to get into today. All right, so inside the box we have, of course, our switch panel. I went with the 8 switches. I think that's going to be perfect for me. I don't run a whole lot of auxiliary stuff. All of our hardware, it even came with a nice little screwdriver, the wiring, even the wiring that's going to go to our battery terminals. This bad boy, there's the cover with some extra fuses, and then all of our ports. The main reason we're setting this up on the truck is because I have some lights in my truck bed, and then Mictuning also sent me some rock lights. So if you want to see how to install rock lights as well on your truck, that's going to be on the next video after this one. So this fuse panel, this switch panel, all of this fun stuff is going to be so nice. I'm going to be able to wire in my rock lights in whichever one I'd like to choose. And then we also have our awesome stickers and manual. So in here, we're going to be following the steps to get this done. Stick around for the end of the video because I'm going to be showing you how awesome this switch panel is. It has a bunch of different modes and whatnot. Let's go ahead, let's jump into the engine bay. That's where the majority of our work is going to be. Let's do this, guys. So first things first, we got to grab one of our brackets, this guy, and this is actually mounting to the truck. So I'm going to use this right here to mount to the truck. I'll be sure to show you guys. But on the fuse itself, we have these holes that can line up right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take the hardware, screw it in here, mount it, and then we're going to take those and mount it to my truck. So I'm just taking that guy, and the washer, and just like I did with this one, we're going to do it on the other side too. And I mean, mounting for your truck might be different. You might have bought a different mount. This is just the way that it's going to work out for me, and it was provided. So that is what we're doing. You guys are seeing this like real time. Before we go ahead and mount that in there, I'm actually going to connect my positive line and my ground. Boom, there we go. That way when I go mounting this to the truck, I can see how well it's going to work, or if I need to reposition it or use a different bracket like this guy. So just a helpful tip, go ahead and connect your positive as well as your negative wires just loosely. That way when you go mounting it, you're all good to go and you can situate things that work best for your engine bay. All right, so we got that mounted. That's not going anywhere. We are now ready to connect our wires to any accessories, right, hooked up into this. That way we can control it from the switch panel. I'll throw up a diagram to this, but this is how you're going to wire everything. The buttons are numbered, as well as the positioning of the fuses and our connections up in the engine bay. So that's actually my next step, to take whatever accessories I'm going to be hooking up to my switch panel, up to the fuses, up to power, right? I mean, you kind of saw that mess on my battery terminals. So I'm actually, for the purpose of this video, going to take the truck bed lights, kind of help clean up my terminal, hook them up to a button on my switch panel, and we'll go from there. We'll kind of see how the switch panel works, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm also, while I'm digging around in the engine bay, going to run my wire harness through my firewall down in here. Let me give you guys a better look. We're going to take our wire harness and run it through the firewall right there. That way, when we're inside the truck, that way when we go wiring up our actual panel, the buttons, the wiring is there for us on the inside. All right, so we're wiring up my light bar. I actually have a switch for this already, but I figure, why not hook it up to the control panel as well? So zooming in, number 1 is going to be my light bar. Can you see those 2 little holes right there? We're going to take our negative wire, hook it up into there, our positive wire, hook it up into there. Once you have it hooked up, there's the Phillips head screw right here, and you just tighten it down. Here's a closer look for you. Here's my ground for my light bar. Here's my power, my positive for my light bar. and we're just gonna go ahead and run it into the right holes. I know I kind of blocked the lighting there, but as you can see, we've got it in there, and you can see that screw moving. That means we're ready to go. I'm gonna tighten down that screw. It's gonna clamp the connection together, and it will do the same thing with my negative, and you just go around until you're happy with what you have. Nothing crazy. I mean, if you've already been wiring and playing around with light bars and ditch lights and things like that on your rig, this isn't that much more complicated. It's honestly just kind of repositioning the wire. Instead of hooking it up onto your battery and giving you a bird's nest up into your battery terminal, it allows you to have one local spot for all the wires to run into and be controlled from one singular device, also known as our switch panel that we're gonna have inside, which is this bad boy, right? So number one right there, you can hear it click, is gonna be my light bar. And I think we're gonna go 2 as our tailgate, our truck bed lights. And number 3, 4, 5, whatever I decide is gonna be our rock lights. Ain't nothing to it, really. Ain't a word. But all we're really doing is negative to negative, power to power, and then making sure it corresponds with the right square on this guy. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna connect everything, all my accessories that I can today, and then we'll run that wire harness. I know I'm repeating myself through the firewall up into this guy. We'll kind of play around with it. So we're almost done. All right, so let's do a quick recap. We have our fuse box here. It's mounted, it's ready to go. We have it connected to our positive and our negative on our battery terminals. We then have our accessories, our light bar and our truck bed lights wired up with the positive and negative, positive, negative, all ready to go. With those hooked in, here's a pro tip for you. Before we go wiring things and squeezing crap into the firewall, we can actually go and plug in our switch panel. As you saw, I have mine lit up in red right here. So I just have the wire loose, right? But it's plugged in and ready to go. You can see we have our light is ready for battery. You also have the option to wire this into your accessory fuse through your truck, but I'm going straight from the battery, which is recommended. Now over to our Mictuning 8-gang switch panel. This thing is so freaking sweet. We could go ahead and test it out and make sure that my wiring is good to go. So if we push this button, boom, our light bar turns on. So awesome. And then if we toggle on 2, that should be my truck bed lights. Oh yeah, check that out. That is so sick. So exciting. What's more exciting on your truck than lighting, right? So let's do a little rundown on this guy. So you can choose to have the backlight on or off. Let's go ahead and just turn this off for now. If you do a long press, that turns your backlight off, but you can still control it. You can see it momentarily came back on when I decided to use it. So if you're driving at night and this is driving you crazy, you do have that option. Our next option is to long press our brightness button here. It starts flashing, and that's where we can choose what to do with our accessories. So for instance, if I turn this on green and I turn this one on blue, turn it off, turn it back on, you can see that only comes on momentarily whenever I push it. With blue, if I go ahead and press that, our lights will start blinking. And now if we hold this down, I'm going to call that a cyan or light blue color. There you go. Turn it off, turn it back on. It will flash like crazy. I don't know what to think of it. I think these modes are pretty cool to have. I don't know how much I'm going to use them, but they're there. So who knows? I might have the light bar going crazy like that during the apocalypse and need to scare some people. Who knows? But for right now, we're going to have this just set to have it on when I need it on. So if we turn this on, we use it, we're good to go. So sweet, so cool. We also have the option to change our backlight color. I'm gonna stick with red. I mean, we have all these color options, but red matches the red on the inside, right? So our next step with this thing really is to find a place to mount it in the truck. I have a couple of different ideas and I need your guys' thoughts. First one being easy, some kind of mount right here down by my knee. The second one being up here in the sunglasses holder, right? That would be pretty sick. right next to the Miso Customs red. So I mean, holy cow, we're just drowning in red in here. So really that's our next step, is to wire this thing through the firewall and get it mounted to where a place that I like. And with the provided mounts, I mean, they make that super easy. The other option with this button is to change the brightness. You can see there, clicking it a bunch of times changes the brightness, low, dim, all the way up to super bright. So there we have it. Please let me know down in the comments if this video was helpful for you. I really appreciate all your guys' support. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the future videos for the rock lights, how to install rock lights, as well as a truck bed rack series. If you guys enjoy any of that fun stuff, overlanding, off-roading, gear, just builds on a truck as awesome as this one, toot my own horn there, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.